When people like me are fired just for doing their job, I don't see how it can't create a climate where every prosecutor around the country isn't looking over their shoulder.
Tonight, a former assistant U.S. attorney based in Tampa is talking to 8 on Your Side after being fired by the Justice Department. Good evening, I'm Stacey Scheibel.
And I'm Keith Kate. Thank you for joining us tonight. That former assistant U.S. attorney claims that he was fired for enforcing the law, defending democracy, and prosecuting people who rioted on January 6th.
Investigator Brittany Muller joins us live in studio after sitting down with him. Brittany.
Stacey, Keith, good evening. Former federal prosecutor Mike Gordon says his termination came without any warning, explanation, or cause. Now he's hired high-profile D.C. attorney Abby Lowell and is in the process of suing the Trump administration. That will make him the first fired federal prosecutor to take that legal step.
4 years after the U.S. Capitol attack, President Donald Trump returned to the presidency.
And you're going to see a lot of action on the J6 hostages.
And fulfilled his promise when he pardoned more than 1,500 criminal defendants charged for their actions on January 6, 2021.
When I pursued cases against January 6 rioters, because of what they did, not because of who they supported, because they assaulted police officers, not because of who they voted for.
Former Assistant U.S. Attorney Mike Gordon, based in Tampa with the Middle District of Florida, prosecuted at least 30 January 6th cases, including members of the Proud Boys.
I've been a fighter my whole life, and for the last 8.5 years, I've fought on behalf of the Department of Justice, on behalf of the country. Now I'm in the position where I have to fight for myself. I lost my job doing what was right, but I didn't lose my voice.
Gordon is now using his voice to share what happened on June 27th. He says he wasn't the only one blindsided when he received this dismissal letter signed by Attorney General Pam Bondi, which cites Article 2 of the Constitution, empowering the president. Her letter reads, "You are removed from federal service effective immediately."
Is that a violation of your rights?
It is. How can someone be in charge of the Department of Justice, the part of the government tasked with enforcing the law, and also just ignore it to satisfy the president's desire for revenge?
AUSAs are covered by civil service protection laws.
The law requires that the government cannot fire a federal prosecutor without first giving warning and then giving a justification, a reason, a merit-based reason for firing. They didn't do any of that with me.
Stetson University professor of law Louis Varelli says when the government is taking something away, there is due process.
But the process matters sometimes more than the actual outcome. And when we lose the value of the process, when we don't require that power explain itself, then we run the risk of losing control over all of the legal structures that we hold dear.
Gordon was one of 3 January 6th prosecutors fired on June 27th, but the first wave came in January.
The Tampa U.S. Attorney's Office, from U.S. Attorney Kehoe on down to my direct supervisor, had no involvement in it. They were as caught off guard as I was.
Acting U.S. Attorney Greg Kehoe's office declined to comment, and so did the White House and the Department of Justice when I began asking questions about Gordon's firing and the cause. Back in March, this is what the president said during a rare visit to the DOJ.
We will expel the rogue actors and corrupt forces from our government.
What I do fear is that now that I'm out in the job market, I worry that I've been branded as a political actor when I wasn't one.
Before his firing, Mike Gordon was expected to go to trial on a case in about 2 weeks. He also co-led Pinellas County businessman Leo Gavoni's prosecution.
Well, Brittany, oftentimes when administrations change, there is some changes that take place. Is this unusual, what's happening to him?
It is, Keith, that political appointees will change like we saw when President Donald Trump began his second term. AG Bondi appointed U.S. Attorney Greg Kehoe to replace Roger Handberg in the Middle District of Florida, but not the line prosecutors like Mike Gordon, who are doing the day-to-day work, many of whom stay at their posts through many administrations. Gordon says to his knowledge, no president has ever fired prosecutors like him.
Okay. Brittany Muller, thank you.